Okay, I don't know if I'll talk on this or not, but I will right now because there's nothing running. But I went ahead, just kind of cover what I did, so maybe then I'll start it. But I went ahead and adjusted the valves with the engine running, and I had them all too tight according to that. And the back two were, I guess, way tight, and that was the cylinder initially. And I think what I had mentioned this, well, at least I mentioned over on Ford 6, number 6 pipe, as you can see now, it's turning kind of a golden color. Before it wasn't any color at all, so I suspected 6 was not working very good. And it was set really tight. Now what I did, I got some stuff on the way. I ordered a vacuum gauge so I could go ahead and set everything with vacuum, and some other things, a spark tester, but I think my spark plugs are all sparking. But I don't know why I don't have that kind of stuff, I just don't. But anyway, I set the valves twice with it running because I'd set them, had them all good, put the valve cover back on, and they started, I could hear them clicking again. So I took the valve cover back off, tried to recheck them, reset them, and put the valve cover back on, and they start tapping again. Now I'll admit I'm not the sharpest tool in the box, I guess, but the issue was the third time I went ahead, well actually the second time, I set the valve cover down on there and then bolt down, started it, and notice when I pressed the valve cover, they started ticking. I looked at the bottom of the valve cover, and where there's a baffle here and there, some of the valve retainers were hitting that baffle. So I did a little modification with a hammer and a punch, and bent the baffle up so it wouldn't touch. They're barely touching them, but really, you know, barely touching a tick, just like a lifter tapping. So they don't touch now. So I hear a little valve train noise, but that may be normal. I mean, I don't know. It's not tapping by any means, I don't think, but I'll start up in here. Now the other thing that I did was I have this, I told you, I have this horrible screech on the exhaust where it's barely touching, and like fingernails on a chalkboard, man. It's terrible. Well, it was, and what it was, underneath the car, I've got a where I cut through the frame support so I could tuck the exhaust up. I ran it through a loop. Well, the one pipe was just barely touching that loop, so I went ahead on the front. It wasn't touching at all on the back, so I took the angle grinder and I just cut the front of that loop so it's narrower. It's made out of 1/4 inch steel, so I don't think it's going to hurt nothing. And now I'm down to a little kind of irritating tick, dump, bang, whatever you want to call it. And I know it's down here where that, I don't know if you can see where that pipe goes past the starter, and occasionally it's a contact in the bell housing. So I need to ground a little more off the bell housing or try to relieve the pipe, but I have no idea how I'm going to do that. There's no space there. I mean, there's very little. There's some, but I don't know how I'm gonna do that. So anyway, so I went ahead and adjusted the carburetor again, reset the timing. I was able to take a little advance out of the timing, and I lowered the idle speed. So let's see if it'll start. Reach in here and make sure it's in neutral. It starts right up. Heck of a lot smoother than it was. Now that's idling it. About 550. The exhaust sounds a little better. I don't hear that that really, really irritating squeak. I don't know if you can hear that on here or not, but like I say, I'm pretty sure it's not down there. So. Pretty sure you can hear that. I don't know how you can. It's down there. It's really loud in here. It's kind of scraping up against something. Running about 35 pounds of oil pressure. And it's not quite heated up now. I've had it off for a while. I went in the house for a while. I don't know if I need to rub the razor idle just a little bit or not. It's not bad. It shakes a little bit. Part of that probably my motor mounts, and then of course I get rid of that horrible squeak. And then of course the whole car rattles a lot just because there's no weather strip in it or nothing, and no insulation of any kind. There's no insulation of any kind except in the roof. I'll say it that way. It starts good. I probably run a timing of 14 to 16 now. It's a little above 12, I know that. So whatever that is. Real responsive. I drove it down to the highway and back. Didn't have enough guts to get it on the highway. And of course the drive's all at the top of a hill. So I coasted down. Drove it back up just in first gear because my road is all gravel and not real smooth. But anyway, I just want to do a little update, and I'm happy with it right now. I don't know, except for the terrible little squeak and exhaust. I'm going to try to figure out how to get it out of there. Again, I don't know on the idle if it should idle a little faster at 550, 600.